Dirty Talks.
Hey, skaters, I'm Dirty Deborah Harry. And hey, non-skaters that are here with us today. I'm here with the lovely and talented Miss Rolly Locks.
Thank you.
And we are bringing you our podcast called Dirty Talks, where we talk about things roller skating and roller skating life related. Because we truly believe that through the act of roller skating, you can learn a lot about yourself and a lot about life. You'd be really, really surprised. I think a lot of times roller skating is perceived as like a throwaway hobby.
Yeah. Well, and it's not.
No,
it's
because
a whole thing.
It's a cult.
And I have definitely been grateful to this friend here who has allowed me to be your sidekick and your
I love it.
blanket and your cheerleader, because you have done so much for me, Dirty, as far as my mental game because of roller skating.
Yeah.
And translation between, mentally talking yourself through some skill and learning how to translate that into real life situations,
Yeah,
and
absolutely. When I tell people that don't skate what I do for a living, I see the awkward look on their face. I teach people how to roller skate and they look and I think, you just don't know. You don't know how big this is. Not that I'm big in that. The influence that roller skating can have on your life, and it's almost always really, really, really positive. So
almost
always super positive. Listen, ain't nothing great unless it's got a little dash of negativity in there. And that's kind of what I want to talk about today, when I'm going to call this podcast Missed Opportunities. So look, I was scrolling through social media as one does. And I always get excited because you can imagine my social media feed is roller skating, dogs. Roller skating, dogs. Okay, not that the dogs are roller skating. I mean,
which would be amazing.
Okay, let's just put my two great loves together. That would be amazing. That's not happening. There's just not enough roller skating dogs in my life. But anyway, so that's kind of what my social media feed is. And if I didn't run across a post that made me
feisty,
dude, it made me feisty. Mm-hmm. I got mad. I was like, shake my head, wag my finger. That ain't okay to me. Mm-hmm. And look, I know that we have differences of opinions about all sorts of stuff in skating, which is fine. We want to have a lot of different opinions. A lot of different kinds of people are coming into skating, which is really the beauty of it. It's because when you go to any skating event, you go to a rink, you go to a pop-up, you're outside, you're meeting all different kinds of people in skating that you normally wouldn't meet in your normal walk of life, your job, the grocery store you go to, your third place or wherever. You may not meet these people, right? So anyway, I was going through, I think I was on Instagram, and it was a reel. And I saw this, and I swear to God, you guys, I rarely get mad at social media, but this one got me. This one got me.
Yeah, it takes a lot to get dirty, spicy.
This one, yeah.
I'm impressed with it.
It made me mad because for a couple different reasons. But anyway, let me just describe it for you. It was just three guys skating. And the idea was that when someone else sees them skating and stops them, talks to them about how they used to skate, these three gentlemen, their response to them was, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care that you used to skate. And I thought to myself, oh, Lordy. Missed opportunity. Missed opportunity on so many levels. Like, I swear to God, this could be a 2-hour video, 2-hour podcast. Missed opportunities. I'm not even going to try to organize my thoughts. I think I'm just going to go.
Let it out,
Missed
Dirty.
opportunities. You don't know who you're talking to, okay? That person who sees you skating and takes their time out of their day, out of their life, to walk up to you and take a chance that they're going to reach out to you, tap you on the shoulder, say hey, say that their reaction to seeing you skate sparks so much joy and a memory for them. Mm-hmm. And your reaction is, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. All I did was, oh my God. That person has taken a risk in encountering you and reaching out to you as a human being, saying to you,
my guess is they're probably not young, because
no,
if you
God,
say I used to skate, you know,
they're not
it sounds
16.
Like,
You're talking to someone who's older. This could be a parent,
older.
a grandparent, someone who's older, who sees
but I don't know.
you.
I don't know.
Yeah, sees the beauty of your movement, feels what you're feeling, and it brings back something that they, more than likely, can no longer do. But it brings back that moment in their life when they were freer, when they were younger, when their movement sparked beauty and joy in others and themselves. And your reaction is, you're bothering me?
At
when
least
you
that's how you
have
felt like
the
it came
absolute,
off, right?
yes,
Okay.
you have the absolute privilege to be skating somewhere in a gorgeous setting, outdoors, living your life, being free.
In a body that works.
Oh
and
my
is healthy.
God, you have your health, you have your youth,
That's a big
you
deal.
have skill. Okay, can I just... The gentlemen that were in this video are great skaters. One of them, in fact, was an amazing dancer. So he was able to bring his dance level of training, which is privilege. You've been trained in another sport. I always consider that everything I do in skating, I'm so privileged. I had 2 coaches that raised me in skating. So I never, ever, okay, like when I played roller derby, trust me, I wasn't the best roller derby player. I was just a better skater. Why was I a better skater? Because I had more access and I had personal coaches. That's why I was good. Listen, all it had to do was a couple years into roller derby, these girls are better than me. Why? Because they're better at the game and they became good skaters. I just had a head start, right? So if you have any kind of background and then you start in skating, you're like, oh, wow, look at me, I'm so good. And you had previous training, check that. You have
Do you
have
mean
the
like
luxury.
check that at the door?
Yes.
Yeah, like don't get
Just
too cocky.
keep your
Yeah.
you know, the only reason I'm good at skating now is because I did it when I was a kid and I had personal training. Listen, if I came to this as an adult, I may not be anywhere near what I can do now. Or listen, I'm on vapors here.
I know,
am
you're pissed.
skating. No. I mean, I'm skating. My skating is on vapors, meaning like I've been skating for so long, but there ain't that much gas in the tank, okay? I am doing what I can do now. So I'm not telling you I think I'm a great skater. I'm a person with a ton of knowledge and willing to share.
Yeah.
So when you come to skating and you have a previous knowledge of another sport that's really helpful for you to become good at skating, and then someone interrupts you, and then they say, oh my God, I used to skate. It was so great, da-da-da-da-da. And your reaction could be like, oh, hey, that's great. And then you're thinking, God, I just really want to skate and I don't want to interact with this person because I don't want to.
Or maybe that happens
I don't feel
so
safe.
much.
It happens so
the
much.
flow isn't.
Right? Okay, I understand all that.
Yeah. I'm playing devil advocate here.
Yes. You want to go out there and do your own thing. I get it. You don't want to hear some dude or some woman tell you all about their skating experiences and go on and on and on about it. I get that. But your reaction is not only to somewhat reject them, maybe they didn't even know, but then go and make a post about it? Look at me. I rejected people that wanted to share a life experience with me, just flat out. I don't care so much that I'll take the next step to make a video about it. And you guys, you know me. I rarely talk about anything. Like, I'm not into posting drama. I don't get into it with people. My platform and myself is always to teach people how to skate. I do not care if you, like Adria, if I teach you how to do something and you teach someone else how to do it, you know me. Do I expect you to give me credit for what you're able to teach?
No, Dirty. You are the most humble and free-giving human there is. However, just because of who I am at the gut, like, I know when I am saying a dirty term, like up with the
down with the
butt, up with the gut, or keep your snack area tight.
Yeah.
You know, those are things that I've used many times and always attributed to you. So,
I mean,
I know what you're saying.
You're saying
that. You don't expect.
I want people, if I teach you something and you use it word for word to teach someone else, I only want you crediting me is if it gives you credibility. If it gives the technique weight. Use my name all day long. I don't care. Or don't give me credit whatsoever. Also, develop the technique more into your style and then teach someone. Dude, I
think we as humans can get a little bit narcissistic or self-centered, and we get a little spicy when we're interrupted. However, I think you're saying we need to reel it back and really go, what are we here for? Are we here to continually feed ourselves, absorb with ourselves and what we want to do? Or maybe, in my perspective, obviously this isn't everyone's perspective, but maybe God put that person in your life in that moment because they either needed something from you, or maybe, who knows, it was a missed opportunity for yourself to have a bond with someone that you may not have had. I don't know. Obviously you can't talk to everyone all the time. And
no, and
you're right, making it a video.
You can't talk to everyone. Particularly for women.
No.
Listen, we can't be stopped. And a lot of times people will approach women in particular because they don't want to talk to you about roller skating, or that may be the gateway drug into trying to get you to talk about something else. I get that.
No. But
paramount.
That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about bragging on the fact that you're sending someone on their way that otherwise was trying to engage with you.
That you could not care so much that you would make a video about not caring about it. And I just thought, man, missed opportunities. We did a podcast where we talked about third places, and we talked about the lack of roller skating spaces and how I'm really encouraging people to find the third place. Find that place outside of your home, outside of your work or school, to develop a place that brings people together organically so that they can socialize and grow, change, and develop as people. Roller skating can do that. It can be the vehicle in which we all grow, change, and develop. Don't get to a point where you think you're so good at skating that you don't have to grow or change, and you certainly don't have the time for other people. I mean, missed opportunities. You don't know who you're talking to. You could be talking to someone who could be very helpful in the world of skating. You know, maybe someone comes up and says, hey, I used to skate a long time ago, boy. And just through a little conversation, you find out what that person does. Is that person able to facilitate a new space for us to skate? Now, that would be selfish for me, right? Hey, who do you know? What's your place of business? How much money you got? You want to open up a roller rink? You know, that's me being selfish. But here's my other thought. Maybe, just maybe, the interaction that I have with that person that is a moment in my life that may cause me to have to pause what I'm doing, lose a little bit of focus, look at them, mind you, hear their story.
You know, it's not always the easy. It's often not easy. The easier choice to be kind.
Right.
It's often not.
Hear their. But what about the effect that it has on them as a person? They say that there's this saying about an old man plants trees of which the shade he will never know, in which that tree will grow, and he will never sit under the shade of that tree, right? Mm-hmm. If someone comes up to me and I'm skating by myself, and oftentimes I skate by myself just to, regroup, because oftentimes when I'm skating, I'm teaching and leading classes and it's very chaotic, so I go skate by myself. Someone comes up to me and they start telling me how they used to skate. I just pause. I listen.
You probably get that.
I get it all the time. And I listen and I think, I wonder what the real effect is. Did that person leave this 1 minute interaction, 2 minute interaction? Did they go buy skates? Did they start skating again? How has that changed their life? Did it just give them a moment of respite in a chaotic day, or a day where they were feeling down, and it brought them back to a memory that when they were a different person? Mm-hmm. I think we should require more out of ourselves when we're interacting with people. When the shared topic is skating, when they say, I used to skate. It's so huge. And I hope that the people that are getting into skating that say that they don't care about the experiences of others,
it just seems...
I hope you're never on that end. I hope that 20, 30 years in your future, you go up to some young person and say, I used to do that. And then you realize that they're like, I don't care. I mean, I get almost choked up about this.
Oh yeah, I've had a lump in my throat for a lot of this. I just and we're on the other side. Right. I mean, I certainly am more likely to say I used to skate, in the near future than I'm coming closer to that side of my life, know, and I do think it's important for good skaters to step back and take assessment that, you are young and good for a period of time. And
what you're putting out there on social media.
Don't be mean.
If you're putting that out on social media,
it's mean.
And then people are cheering that kind of content on, like, oh yeah, that's great. Are you putting your best self out in the world?
Do you think that
will you be proud of yourself?
Was trying to just be funny? Maybe. I know sometimes comedy can be a little bit like harsh.
Okay, this is what I have to say.
And we can't be so sensitive.
Trying to be funny. Try again.
That one didn't.
As my dad used to say when I used to say stuff, my dad would say, "That's a weak attempt at humor. You got to workshop that one, my friend." When I don't have anything against these people personally. Absolutely not. See them. Hey, what's up? How's it going? Blah, 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 blah. I'm talking about this for the greater good of the skating community. When older people come up to you and say that they used to skate, man, that's an opportunity. That is an opportunity in so many different ways. It's an opportunity for you to grow, for you to change, for you to develop. It's an opportunity for you to have an incredibly positive effect on someone else's life.
Maybe just exercise some patience in that day,
Right?
Like even if it is the most, boring person or whatever. I mean, we've all been there. Like, not everybody has something amazing to say after that phrase. I used to skate. And then you're like,
have your pat
how do I get out of
answers.
this conversation?
How do you, have your pat answers? But this is the number one thing. You're on roller skates. You can always skate away. You can always do the thing where you motion to your ears like, I can't hear you, big thumbs up, wave, have a good time, big smile on your face. Or you can say, oh, did you used to skate? Did you skate like this? And show them what you can do and then wave and keep skating. They'll just be happy. They will see your joy in skating. Show them your joy. Don't create negativity in response to that and put that out further in the world. I may be, but let's talk about this. Am I making too big of a deal about this?
I don't know. We'll find out. Like, I'm sure you're going to get some opinions.
I may be making way too big of a deal about this.
But I mean, that's the thing about, like, I always was telling you earlier as I talked to my husband about that. I really don't want to become the crabby old lady that's set in our ways and maybe hypersensitive or like, not adjusting with the times. And, that may be what you are like going, is this, am I being too sensitive? But honestly, if I step outside of it, the key point for me, which hit home when you told the story, is I'm having trouble finding the word. The thing that bothered you the most is that it was worth putting out there on social media to the person
secondary
to kind of
to make fun of them.
Yeah. And again, I don't know that person's heart, whether they thought it was just funny and that was it. Very well could have just been, I'm so guilty of saying the wrong thing in my lifetime many times. So now, you and I, we didn't have social media to navigate our every move and learn how to be on it. Everything's recorded and all of our mistakes, we put a mistake out there. So, they do have that. The younger generation is living in a time where your whole life exists.
Well, can I just say this? He ain't that young.
Oh, okay.
It's not that. Listen, I'm going to give you're Gen Z. I'm giving you all the leeway. Okay.
Well, wait a minute. I would like Gen Z to be kind.
I do too, but I think Gen Z is kind.
Okay.
I'm just saying this gentleman, these men are a little bit older. They know better.
Okay.
But then again,
and
listen,
I'm not trying to make excuses.
I could be totally off base on this. And if I am, and if this comes off as offensive to anyone, or you feel like, oh, no, Dirty, you got it wrong, you let me know. But
Dirty can handle it.
Oh, God, yeah. Mm-hmm. But, I'm old enough to know when something don't feel right. Mm-hmm. Okay? And man, missed opportunities. Some of the greatest opportunities I have had in life were when I have interacted with someone that I just thought it was just in passing. Or, of course, we were in the same sport, but they were way over there and I'm way over here. And then all of a sudden, I get a communication from them, an email, a phone call, or thing, and it says, hey, Dirty, do you want to go? And do you want to do this? And do you want to do that? And my whole world changed because of a good interaction. Can I just say this? I'll tell you this one story if I can get through it. It's really it's joyful and happy, but first time I went to Australia and I was teaching out there, I ran into these two girls and I was just teaching all these classes and I was so consumed with self-doubt. Early on in my teaching career, I'm getting flown across the world to teach in Australia. I kept telling the gals who were running it, Trish and Ivana, who own RollerCon, they're amazing. They're like, Dirty, you got to come to Australia, blah, 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 blah. They put me on a plane with like Team USA and all these people. And I'm like, why do you want me? I'm no Team USA. And they're like, no, but you don't understand. People in Australia are going to love you. They're going to, they totally need what you're, they're going to buy what you're selling kind of thing. And I was like, okay, dude, riddled.
They are wise people.
Dude, riddled with self-doubt. Man, I went there riddled with self-doubt. But I said, showtime, let's do this. You know what you know. Get up there and give it to these people, right? So we did RollerCon Down Under. I did 3 days of teaching. It was super exhausting. And dude, I was giving it my all because I was like, I'm either going to fail spectacularly or I'm going to kill it. But there's no in between. There's no in between. There were so many people there. There was such high expectations. And I went in there and I just got in myself. I was by myself. I'm with other people, but you're by yourself. So I muscle through and I say, dear, you can do this. You can do this. And I go out and I teach all these classes. These two women came up to me And one's name's Double D, and the other's name is Slinky. And amazing roller derby, so crazy.
I love derby names.
But they were like, oh my God, we love your class so much. And they gave me their shirt from their league. Now, I was getting overwhelmed with people coming up to me, telling me how much they love my class. Now, when you are riddled with self-doubt and someone's coming up to you and they're telling you how great you are, you're still like, I can't believe what they are saying, because my self-doubt is at such an all-time high that it's like you think everyone else is crazy. You're like,
is that like imposter syndrome?
Yes, imposter syndrome on steroids. Yeah. And all I'm going through this thing is, I know technique, be funny, sell it, see who buys it, let's go. Well, they came up to me and they said, oh my God, they were super, super, super complimentary. And they gave me their shirt for their league. And they said, something along the lines, I hope you wear it. And I go, wear it? And I took off my shirt in public. And I had to scooch in to the shirt they gave me because lovely ladies got me something a little tight. And the vanity part of me could have been like, you need to take that shirt off because that is highlighting some body parts that aren't your best. But I said, I don't care. Putting this shirt on. And I proceeded to wear it the rest of the day. About 3 or 4 months later, this Double D, who I never knew how much this woman would affect my life, she sent me a message and she was like, my league entered a contest and we won. And they got money from some government grant. And their whole contest was based around them bringing me back to teach them at their league. And at first I thought it was a joke. First, I thought, what kind of scam is this? And I was like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, sure. And she was like, no, we're serious. We're doing fundraisers, and I love their fundraisers for the Aussies out there. You are fond of your sausage sizzles. Anyway, they put together so much money, and they brought me back. And Double D is a force of nature when it comes to marketing and putting everything together. You guys, they flew me back there, put me up, put on all these things called a weekend with Dirty Deb or Dirty Deb, something like that. I'm sorry. And I went there and my face was plastered on T-shirts, beer bottles, labels of beer bottles, posters.
Dirty beer.
It was like this totally insane thing. I was like, oh my God, what is happening?
I want a dirty beer.
Like, what is happening? Yeah, it was, I'll show it. I'll put it on a video. It's crazy. It's this beer bottle. It's got my label on it, my face on it. And can I talk about how incredibly kind these people were and how because I went back, they took me back. I went back 4 more times. And I have some of the best friendships with the people there. Now, had I been the type of person that said, oh, this is just 1 or 2 people of many who don't recognize that I'm really tired and I'm kind of doing my own thing and maybe I can't really be talked to right now, but I'm not. So I was like, hey ladies, how's it going? Da-da-da. Oh, you want to give me a shirt? Excellent. Yeah, I'll put it on right now. We made a connection right then and there where there was trust established at that moment. Trust. So because of my going back and forth so many times, and I'll just save it for later, that impacted my life. Like, I can't even explain how much. So, anyway, before I get just crazy about this.
We want to know. You can't leave us hanging.
No, I mean, I've gone all over the world, been able to interact with people literally as a outgrowth of that one interaction. So, I hate to get emotional about these things.
It's called gratitude.
Oh, so grateful.
Yeah, and it's beautiful.
So I took a moment to interact. So please, I absolutely know at this point that I'm making too big of a deal out of
Are you
this.
going to start your period?
No. No, probably. Yes, immediately now. I've got to leave now. No, listen, I know I'm making too big of a deal about this, but if this impacts you positively, then I've done my job.
Exactly. If it, at the very least, encourages you as a skater, particularly as a good skater, to be kind and to be receptive even when you don't feel like it, at least,
Yeah.
And if not, don't share when
I'm
you're
just
not
asking
kind,
you
maybe.
to care a little bit, not even a lot. Don't put out a video that says you don't care. Care. It's important for you as a human being and as a skater. I'm going to demand that you care. You guys, I hope this isn't, I'm making a big... Did I just say the F word?
That's all right.
I'm
I have
making too
a
big of
little
a deal about that.
beep button.
I know I am. I know I'm crazy right now. I'm probably just going to go eat some chocolate or
Do you
whatever.
want me to just turn it off?
No, I'm serious. I'm so...
teasing.
it made me so mad.
No, it's good, Dirty.
Guys,
What you
it made me
have,
mad. It made me mad and made me sad, dude. It made me sad to see people cheer on that kind of content. It made me sad. I was like,
honestly,
that's not what skating's for, dude. That's not what skating's for.
I'm not dismissing it with your period. I
No,
want you
I
to
know,
know.
but-
I think it's a legit.
But we all know that's a legit thing, too.
Well, I think you have a very fair mind and a real reaction, and
Yeah,
you care about
obviously.
roller skating. And
I care about the future, you guys. Skating has done so much for me
yeah,
that I am 100% totally protective of it. I know that the more people that we turn on to this sport and this experience, I know the benefits. Yeah. I know the benefits. And so when I just saw that, dude, triggered. I was triggered.
well, I'm glad you cared when I was stumbling around with you at the rink,
Oh, yeah.
and you listened to me.
When I
Changed
saw
my life.
Adria at the rink, we had an old people's session. And you know what's funny is it's not considered an old people's session anymore because people my age go there now. So anyway.
And we're not old.
Right. Not old. And then I saw her skating, but at that time there were seriously like some elderly people
Yes, some are my best friends.
who are awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, when you see an 85-year-old gliding around, you're like, I got stuff to learn.
Howard was 90.
Howard was 90. He used to skate at our rink. And let me tell you about Howard real quick. I swear to God, this show is almost over. I said, Howard, where are you from? Because I knew he wasn't from California, right? And he's from like Minnesota, okay? So you know how you know when you live in California, you know when someone's not from California when they're from Minnesota. Why? Because they're the coolest, nicest people there. They're nice on a different level. I asked him how he got out to California. You know how he got out? Do you know?
Was it skiing?
Nope. After World War II, he got a Harley Davidson and he rode it to California. Okay?
Wow, that's
I
a
said,
long
were
ride.
you a big time motorcycle rider? He said, no, never rode before. Okay, but that's back in the day where you're like, oh, I've never done something. Oh, until I do it. So I'm going to ride this motorcycle to California. He'd come in and skate all the time. And when at 90, his preferred skating was backwards.
Uh-huh. And listening to jazz.
Right? He was the coolest dude ever. So Adria was skating that session. I went up to Adria and I said, girl, you need to go to the skate park.
That's a
I
whole
was
nother
like,
story.
I saw her and I was like, skate park. So anyway,
She
you guys,
called it.
I think we're going to wrap this up because otherwise I'll start crying and getting crazy. But can I just end this with, I'm not here to, even though I did, I'm not here to admonish you. I'm here to inspire you to understand the weight of your words and your actions on other people within the skating community. And please do your best. Be your best out there. Be an ambassador of skating that you would want, okay? Especially when you get a little bit better and someone taps you and says, hey, I used to do that. Be the best ambassador of skating you can, okay? Please, I beg of you. It's important.
Beautifully said, Dirty.
All right. We're going to sign off, you guys, straight and direct from my husband's office here in Long Beach, California. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you.
Love you guys.